Hello, 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 hello. I was sitting here staring at the computer, watching it count down, and dissociated into nowhere, thinking about, um, I don't even know what. I have no clue what I was thinking about, but it wasn't about the fact that the time ran down and it was time to start stream. But here I am. I'm here, starting stream. Welcome. We are playing. Okay, that's what it is say. Okay. We are playing The Rise of the Golden Idol, where we are potentially meeting some pirates tonight. I don't know. I haven't looked at this since the last time I played. I tend to not do things in between stream. I'm trying to figure out why it's saying that this connection's unstable. But it did this last week where it was like your stream is the bitrate is unstable, but it's fine. According to OBS, it's fine, so I'm not going to worry about it. Welcome in. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm pretty good today. I feel like I'm sloshing because I realized I had a soda left over from yesterday's dinner. It's a stubborn agave vanilla cream soda. It doesn't taste like your standard cream soda, but it's good. It'll do in a pinch. Maybe because I've had IBC recently. That cream soda is so good. In any case, I found that in my refrigerator because I forgot it was in there. And I made myself a big thing of water, and then I had another drink, and I've been sipping on those all day, so I'm sloshing right now. I'm very much so off balance if I'm mildly pushed, and then everything in my stomach has to slosh around and get back to equilibrium. Also a little bit tired, but I forgot I had a presentation today at work. Luckily, I was really prepared. I only forgot from this morning. Like, I knew it was there, but I forgot this morning. Like, I looked at this stuff I was going to present, and then I forgot about it until later on in the day, to which I didn't get a chance to take a lunch, but I sort of took a break that was an hour long where I did dishes and prepared some stuff for the week, and then I had a small lunch. Ooh, sorry, that was weird mouth noises. Anyways, it's been a strange day, but it's been a good day. I say we jump on into the Curse of the Last Reaper, Case 2, I believe. It looks like pirates, and I want to draw attention to the title of the stream called Meet the Pirates, which is kind of like Meet the Parents, which I thought, that's cute. I thought about it for all of 2 seconds. I'm like, that's easy. Let's roll with it. The music sounds crazy, though. Anyways, oh yeah, we've seen that. I said we just jump right on in. Is this somehow different? No, this is more. I can never tell what's the videos and what are just clue things. All right, let's jump on in. Broadside betrayal, mutiny aboard the Last Reaper. Okay. Oof, let me just say, this guy's head is not facing the right direction. There seems to be some sort of battle going on, but it doesn't seem like they could have done that. They're just human. Quick now, we wanted in the captain's quarters. We're wanted in the captain's quarters. Okay, we have a dagger. Yeah. And we have a flintlock pistol. Okay. We assume it has not been fired. You ain't going nowhere unless you go through us. Go through me first. Oof. Those teeth are questionable at best. Okay. So then this person is coming in here. You may outnumber us, but we're twice the sailors you'll ever be. Surrender now, and I might let you keep breathing. What a gift. What a gift to be able to breathe, I suppose. A dagger, a kukri, and a cutlass. We got all the knives up in here. All the swords. We have cannonballs. Okay. We got a butcher's knife or a cleaver. I ain't cut out for this. I chop meat, not men. Hey, men are just meat with extra steps and questionable morals. I chop meat, not men. I don't want to die down here. All alone. Ma, please watch over me. Sniveling baby. Anyways, cleaver. Okay. It's a ladder in case you haven't identified that before, ever in your life. Okay. To all hands aboard the Last Reaper. With the untimely passing of Captain Triton, I don't know. The fate of this ship now lies in the hands of her crew. As per the pirate code, the new leadership shall be decided by vote. The following terms are hereby set forth. The vote shall take place on the deck at high noon, and each crew member shall cast one vote with the exception of the powder monkey, whose rank does not grant them such privilege, and the candidates themselves. The tally shall follow below. Once all scores are counted, I believe. That seems like a bullet is lodged in the mast. Okay. Alistair Sims has defeated William Nunda by 1. Oof. And we're back on our 2 different year timelines. Okay. Oh. Bro, what? This person the boy is comatose. So not dead. That's different. Okay. Sorry, lad, there's only room for me and my boy. It's every man for himself now. A harpoon. A map. This is the map that we saw in the last thing. Oh, okay. Ow. Oh, I just hit my elbow. Ah. Okay. We have a cutlass. I just realized he has a prosthetic nose that's held on by a strap, and that's why he has this particular look. Okay. Have you lost your wits? We're on the same bloody side. Pull me aboard. No can do, sir. This boat's too small. And then we have a guy with a peg leg over here. Then prepare to lose your life. Why is he foaming at the mouth? Just as you and your followers lost the vote. Cutlass and an axe. Okay. Welcome in. Welcome. Now we're going to investigate this guy whose head is turned the wrong way specifically. Ack. That is a word to use for this situation. Ack. A dagger. This man is bleeding out. That's all we have to say about him. Okay. Cutlass inspection. Swift, still using cutlass made of cheap, low-grade metal. Replaced soon. Lane, Nunda, and Valerio's cutlasses blunt. Sharpened soon. Okay. A cutlass. Okay. He fell. That's the key word. Okay. How did you fall that your head ended up facing the wrong direction? I'm so confused by this. Let's go down. /N. Honestly, this rocking is mildly making me nauseated. Okay. Ahoy, men. Get your backsides here now. We've a mutiny on our hands. A flintlock pistol. A cutlass. And a pocket watch. Okay, that's all he has on him. Take this, you filthy rat. Flintlock pistol. To-do list. C2, Garner's nose, Horn's leg. To the people with... What is the term I'm looking for? The people with... What am I looking for? Prosthetics. That's what it was. Okay. And then we have, you're no captain. You couldn't find gold in the gunner's gob. Okay, we know all these. We know that these are all flintlock, pistol, dagger, and cutlass. Oh, y'all are so salty. Okay, now we're in 1927, and we are looking at this situation. Things really got out of hand. Look here, I found the ship's log, and it contains the name of that bosun we saw mentioned in the battered cot. I feel like the Oberdin game has really trained me for this particular level. Okay, he does have a pistol on him. We have a map and we have a book. We know all these. The powder monkey is definitely a little bit questioned. But we got everyone else. Powder monkey. That's crazy. I thought it was a literal monkey, but it turns out it's just a dude who runs gunpowder. Therefore, he has no rank in voting for his captain, which is crazy in its own right. Okay. All right. Very interesting, Jasper. Good work. She has the cigarette. She has the crazy pistol that doesn't look like his at all. And a dagger. Judging by what's happening here, the captain did get shot in the head. But I couldn't tell. Some guy with an axe, the guy outside with the peg leg, came in with the axe, took out that dude. I'm still looking for the guy with the peg leg, but maybe he's out here still. Someone picked up the axe somehow. Okay. Dude was harpooned. It's a bad time. The mast is toppled. Okay. The cleaver guy did a good job getting away, I guess. Splash, a shiny gem. A net. Okay. Why does it look like there's tobacco freshly smoking down here? Even though this was a long time ago, obviously, because first it's 1797, but also everyone's a skeleton, but this is smoking fresh? Huh. Hi, welcome in. Didn't finish getting everything down here? Oh, he's looking down. Are you all right down there? Why do they have these green guns? You know what? That's fine. Who was down here? Dude's got a gold tooth, though. A grating. Are they looking for someone who's actively here? There's the guy with the peg leg. This ship is falling apart. Let's leave. Tell the old geezer to forget whatever junk he saw that drew him down there. He has a ring, a ruby ring, an engraved cigar case, the same green gun situation, expedition contract. The spoils of this expedition shall be split among the 6 party members as follows. Antoine Spilsbury, sponsor 35%. Jasper Rawls 15, Eliza Swan 15, Ivan Kearns 15, Radigan Olita 10%, and Myrtle Song 10%. Okay. We almost have everything. We need to talk to her. She has a ruby ring. What's going on down there, Ivan? Yeah, she's the one with the book of animals. She's Myrtle Song. Okay, but we have all the clues currently, so that's a plus. I don't know if that really helps us, but it's a thing. Okay. We have all the clues. I guess we got to figure out who is everyone, what everyone's stuff is. Which it's really giving the Oberdin now. All right, so let's switch back to 1797. Also, let me refresh the stream. I don't know why it's saying that it's unstable. Maybe it was some of the settings that I changed and messed with the other day, trying to fix it. Ah, welcome in. Welcome in, picture of a crook. maybe that's the situation, but it's too late to fix that in this very moment. And also, OBS says it's fine, so I don't know. It's not like this game is super heavy on the computer in the first place, but the bitrate is pretty variable. I wouldn't call it unstable, it's just variable. Anyways, welcome in. Hi, how's it going? Get out of here. All right, there we go. There was a pop-up that came in. So let me show you the scene that we walked in on. This is... I'm very tickled by... I'm mildly tickled by the title of the stream. Meet the Pirates. Like as in Meet the Parents. With Ben Stiller. A great movie from either late 90s or early 2000s. I can't remember. It's all the same to me. Anyways, we came to this scene where there's some sort of mutiny happening, and this dude who fell, I guess, but his head is twisted the wrong way, which concerns me greatly. Either here or there, it's fine, I guess. And then we have all these people being real, like we got this dude stabbing at some other dude. He's like, I got to get away with my son, who is comatose, by the way. And he's like, let me on. I'm on your side. He's like, there's not enough space. You see this boat? I'm a huge dude, too. Then we got the guy, the butcher in here, who's like, I don't want to mess with this. I'm not cut out for this. He's crying in the corner, begging for his mom, literally. And then we go into the captain's quarters. Also, this dude, for some reason, is foaming at the mouth, which is concerning in its own right. I don't know why that is. I don't know if he was interrupted while brushing his teeth or what. And then we go into the captain's quarters, and someone's getting shot in the head. He's not shooting anyone. He's too busy flowing his gun and hook. This is also the doctor, by the way, because of his... And so, to clarify, we have to fill in the roles. So now we're doing the Oberdin strat. So we got to figure out who is what. I guess the doctor isn't a thing, but we know who the cook is. The cook is the guy that was crying. The guy that fell is a rigger, because that's what... He's either the rigger or maybe a cell maker. We'll see about that. But we got to figure out what everyone did, because his to-do list was to see to Garner's nose and Horn's leg. And these two people he speaks of are out here. This is Horn, and he has a peg leg, and Garner is this guy out here. He has a prosthetic nose. He deals with the prosthetics of the people here. Or the guy inside does. And so someone has a book, and I think that's in the 1927. I think that's what this person right here. No, it's this book right here that tells what everyone's role was. Um, so Moody Pollock, the guy whose head is facing the wrong way, that is definitely giving the rigor, since he fell from so high that his head twisted around. I don't know who would specifically work on. I guess this could be Horatio, because they both have wooden nose and legs. So Horatio is the carpenter. Okay, so this guy is the carpenter from what I'm gathering. And then, okay, so I don't know if we can get much further. I would need to know. We don't know what the son does unless he is the one who's the powder monkey. But he was sick. He's comatose. He's in a coma. So let's see if we can figure this out. Let's go back to this crazy scene. He has a pocket watch. But he was also the recently voted. Oh, I should clarify. This all happened because there was a vote for a new captain of the ship, because the other one died. And so this is I don't know. Anyways, Alistair won and William lost. And apparently there's some craziness happening because of that. This guy has a, and I assume whatever weapons they have just depends on what their role is. So this guy just has a cutlass. This guy has a flintlock and a dagger. This guy has an axe, and for some reason foaming out his mouth, and a cutlass. Then prepare to lose your life just as you and your followers lost the vote. And I assume he's yelling to him. So is he a rigger too? This guy, hard to tell what he does. And then we have to identify everyone's skeletons, by the way. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely the Oberdin level, because now I have to figure out who they are based on their skeleton, who killed them, and what killed them. This is exactly... Oh my goodness. Okay, that's fine. I have practice. Hello, Pants of the Tiny Variety. Welcome in, Tiny Pants. How are you doing today? It's been a day, so it's been a good day. I won't even give it a... I'll give it the quality of good. How was your day? You are here. Welcome in. It's always a joy. What does this dude have? He has so many blades on him and a gold tooth. Yes, we are playing Oberdin in color. Less realistic also. This is the cannonballs. But we know this is the cook. We're trying to figure out what everyone's role is. Like, this guy seems like a rigger, so we can close. I'm not ready to identify the skeletons yet. That, okay, so there is no captain currently because everyone's just lost their minds. I guess this could have been the bosun. I don't know. I have to go back and check this. Creature. Okay, this is Pictures of the Messerade. Okay, let's go in here. He has the book that holds the secrets. Okay, Master at Arms, responsible for weapons. Does that mean the guy with the multiple swords? Is that the weapons guy? Alistair, he is in charge of daily operations. He's the first mate. Okay. He's the first mate. Second mate oversees crew's work. You have to leave again? Oh no. Well, tell it to straighten up. Just backhand it. Backhand the internet. Just like, I need you to work right now. Good luck on getting your internet to work. It's okay if you can't stay. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Ah, okay. That's fun. That's fun. I guess the people who are scratched out are dead. Because we know that this person is dead by the fact that they were having a vote and it was on the thing. The one who's leaving, who has a son who works on the ship too, that's Eleazar Garner, which we already saw in the first chapter of this particular thing. So we know that that is the bosun, and that this is his son, the powder monkey. And then, at least this is mildly a little bit easier because we're given a little bit more context. We do have one lady left, from what I can see. That's the cell maker. The surgeon is already gone. So this is the cell maker. The carpenter and the cell maker really were just like tight because they probably work closely together. Because he does all the, making of the structures, and she's like, I make cells, which is cool for them. Good on them. Maybe he's the master at arms. He has a lot of weapons on him. Okay, so then what separates this? No, let's go back out. What separates this guy? Because for some reason he has an axe, which you would think he's the carpenter, but he is not. Then prepare to lose your life, just as you and your followers lost the vote. Maybe this is the new captain. Okay. So let's go back in. I should take a screenshot, but you would miss this joy of switching back and forth to see this. So Nunda, second mate, oversees the crew's work. That makes sense. He's the one who... No, he's the one who lost. He's the one who won. And try okay. So then who's the guy with the peg leg? Feels like a joke in the making, but there's no punchline here. Just a genuine question. At the very least, we know that everyone on down here has been identified, or at least their roles have been identified. From Horatio on down. Ada doesn't exist anymore. Raphael, maybe he's the gunner? And by he, I mean the one that's talking to the... Okay, let's remove him. Let's go with this. And then I don't even know who this dude is, where he was. This guy might be second mate. No, he's the one who lost. So maybe... Okay, he's definitely not a rigger. He doesn't have a leg to be climbing around and stuff like that. He's second mate? Nunda's the one who lost, but that's who they're yelling at. That's who this guy is yelling at. Then prepare to lose your life just as you and your followers lost the vote. You and your followers. So this is Nunda. Or is this Nunda? No, this is Nunda. Okay. That's second mate, one who lost. This is... Who is this dude? Is this the one in the water? Oh, okay. Pull me aboard. I don't know why they're leaving specifically. That's kind of the question here, too. Okay, so let's swap back, because this is life right now. Oh no, I need a sneeze. Maybe he's a helmsman. That kind of makes sense. So the foamy mouth guy is a helmsman. This is a helmsman or navigator. I don't know how you identify that. Hold up. There might be something here. If he's the bosun, these two we've identified. We don't know who this could be yet. Is that accurate? Ezekiel Parker, responsible for weapons. I thought there would be some crossover with, what people are working on over here in the description that might help. But we've got to figure out who the guy in the water is. Which I can only assume is... Maybe it is Ezekiel Parker? Master at Arms? And then this is... I can't imagine this is the navigator. Right. Okay. What am I not sure about? I'm not sure about this guy, this guy, this guy, or this guy. Let's see. Okay. So, Rafael Valerio manages cannons. Sebastian steers the ship. Helmsman. Okay. Having this book available would be great. There's no steering happening in here. In fact, that's just a table turned on its side, I just realized. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. No one's up there, so maybe that's the helmsman? Or the one who's steering? Helmsman. And then we got... This guy doesn't have a gun. Do you have a gun? Guy in the water? No, you do not. Okay, there's clues in all of this. Gotta Okay. Someone did shoot a bullet. And he's the only... Well, no, he has a gun. This guy... Maybe he's the one... Whoa. He's the master at arms. He's the one's in charge of everyone's weapons. Okay, so I was incorrect about this, which makes sense. Okay, master at arms. Got it. Okay. We have very straightforward clues. It just dumb. Okay. And then this guy... Okay, still not a lot of context for that. This guy, he's... I don't know what's up with him. He's just talking real threatening. Seems like a wayfish guy with really short arms. And too many blades. Anything else we can... Wow, did the ice maker just fully fall apart? That was a long drop of ice from inside the refrigerator. This wasn't a large crew at all. This feels like the guy that would steer the boat just stood down there. Like, this is him. Does he have anything? This is just the split of everyone's money and stuff. Apparently there was a person supposed to be here, but they're just poofed gone. And this guy had all three of his knives used against him, which is hilarious. But they did make it back because he stayed at an inn. So I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. There's the peg leg guy. Okay. Let's take a look at this again. Helmsman. This feels like the helmsman here. Okay. This is... maybe the navigator. And this is the... manages cannons. This is... maybe that's the gunner. We'll put this on him again. Let's see. And then we have the guy in the water who... huh. It feels like there's too many people for the amount of jobs that we have. I guess we don't have a rigger. Okay. Yeah, okay. Still wrong. I don't think he's a rigger. He seems too bulky for that. Maybe he's the gunner and this is the rigger. Okay, so what am I 100% sure on? What am I not sure on? Not this guy, not this guy, and not this guy. Okay, so let's pull out the ones that we don't know. We don't know who that is. We don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Or this one. I'm going to pair those together. We know that these two are the ones that were in a competition. We know this is the dead one. We know this is the one. These skill people right here, we know who they are. Okay. So it's really just these four. Okay. Unless this guy... No, this is still giving the rigor. And then... He didn't have a gun. He had an axe. Why did he have an axe? Okay. Do we even know? Wait, we don't know the second mate. Yeah, we do. It said it was this guy. The problem is that I'm not sure who this guy's yelling at. This guy, he says, then prepare to lose your life just as you and your followers lost the vote. In which case, is he yelling at him, this guy hanging out? Quick now, we're wanted in the captain's quarters. You ain't going nowhere unless you go through me first. So, this is the guy that won the vote, is what I'm guessing. Which makes sense for why he has a clock. So, we have a mutiny on our hands, but who's mutinying who? Let's see. Are they saying he stole the vote? Is that what's happening? And that's the questions I have right now. Because it seems like he may have, even though someone else won, he tried to take that over. Like, I just don't know why there's such a big fight about this. And why this guy is foaming at the mouth. And does that have to do with the son that's over here in a coma? That blanket looks so rough. He's very shifty. I think they all need to eat some lemons. Let's start there. And then we have this guy in here. You may outnumber us, but we're twice the sailors you'll ever be. Surrender now. He's the cook. Like, calm down. So it seems like no one was shot initially out here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That means there should have been 11 votes. There were only 9. that poses a problem because they didn't let the vote finish. So I wonder if we can maybe tally up who was with this guy versus the other guy. So they didn't like him. But we also don't have a full picture. Nope, let's go back. We also don't have the full vote because this is only. Wait, that's only 10 votes. Nope, that's only 9 votes, like I said. I know how to use tally marks. That's only 9 votes. So we're still missing 2 votes, and that doesn't even include the powder monkey because he doesn't get a vote. Oh, and I guess the candidates themselves. So 1, 2, 3 people out of the 14. Okay. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the hole, or down there. 8, 9, 10. So we're still missing. Ooh. 2, 3, 4, 5 out here. Oh, 6 guy in the water. 7, 8 down in this hole. 9, 10, 11. So there should only be 9 votes. So everyone did vote. Someone's just cranky about the results. And of course the candidates themselves can't vote because it's moot point anyway. Because they would vote for themselves. He may have been brushing his teeth. He really should stop being interrupted. It looks like he's never done it before, honestly. Let's see if there's something here that tells us a little bit more. What's going on down there, Ivan? He's saying, "Are you all right down there?" And Ivan is gone. And there's fresh blood. So he was legit taken away. Which, you know, did the guy die because of who he was going to vote? Well, no, they already voted. They all voted. I was counting that up, and I had to count twice or so. So there were 9 votes total. The candidates and the powder monkey were not allowed to vote. So there's a total of 11 people that could have voted, and 2 didn't because they were the thing. No one stole the vote. That was just me speculating on what happened. No one stole the vote. They just didn't like the outcome. But maybe he stole the vote in terms of he decided that he didn't care that he lost and decided to go into the captain's quarters anyways. But I don't think that's the case because the one who lost, like this guy's yelling, then prepare to lose your life just as you and your followers lost the vote. Which, according to this, William Nunda lost the vote. Is he yelling at this person? Because he's definitely not yelling at this guy. Also, this is the Master-at-Arms. This guy, Quick Now, were wanted in the captain's quarters. Are they trying to override that vote? And who is he trying to protect the captain's quarters from? Is he trying to protect, is he going to fight against him or him? In which case, we can maybe see what it was his fate over here, because I think he may have had an axe in his forehead. We'll see. It looks like his forehead did get bashed in, or his skull got split in half, which tells me an axe got involved. So they were opposition. And then, he came over here, and this dude, I think he got stabbed. I think he pretty much got stabbed, and then he came over here. And this is the guy that was facing the wrong way already. This is the... This guy has a necklace on. And if I remember correctly, the only one I saw a necklace on was the butcher that had a pendant. So that's got to be... So maybe we can start figuring out stuff in parallel. So we know that this is the guy that got taken out by the cleaver. Obviously. His weapon was the cleaver. This was the cook. But we don't know what his role was. We know that this was the... I believe this is the first mate. And he was taken out by the carpenter with a pistol. As we can see in... One of them shot him in his head. It's hard to tell where these are aimed at. I mean, it could have been her. Could have been her. Maybe it wasn't the carpenter. Maybe it was the cell maker. This guy was taken out by a harpoon. He's the one that's underwater because he insisted on trying to get on the boat. He was taken out by the bosun. The victim is unknown job. So going back here. So we got an extra person in here than was originally in here. We see he was taken out. Somehow the axe got in here, but this person has a pistol. There weren't a lot of people that did have pistols. She had a pistol. I say there's not a lot of people that had a pistol. And then there's legit like 3 people in this room alone that had pistols. Plus, I think there was one guy out here. He has a pistol. He looks crazy in the eye. He doesn't have a pistol. He doesn't. And he doesn't. And nor does he... He doesn't either. He has a harpoon. And a cutlass. Look at that symbol on his back. I feel like we've seen that before. Okay. Maybe that's the helmsman. Because it seems like he just really abandoned his station in the middle of sailing. The 3 in the boat were on the... Yeah, they're all on the... Well, yes. Technically, yes. Also, let me move this over. I just realized you can't see through chat, which... I do wonder why people put chat up on screen. But you know what? It's fine. I just did it because I was like, well, other people are doing it. Okay. So if we have, okay. Okay, then. So no one, aside for this guy, has this. Quick, now we're wanted in the captain's quarters. Okay, so this guy is calling for those guys. That's why he's saying we're needed in the captain's quarters now. Okay. These two know that he shouldn't be there. This guy's against them. This guy is against them. Which means that they were trying to overtake the vote. Which then means that this is not the second mate, but rather the... Okay. Okay. 100% sure on this guy. Now I'm not sure about the first mate either. Everyone else, I'm 100% on these people, but this one is the one that we've recently replaced, which tells me that first mate might be this guy. This is actually the one that was voted, and he's actually the second mate. That's the helmsman. This is still giving the rigor. This is the... You'd think a gunner would have a gun, but you can't carry a cannon in your pocket. And then I can't imagine him being the navigator. Okay, neither of those are correct. The only person that had anything that even made me think of navigation was this guy, and that's because he has a clock. But other than that, no. I don't know what a sextant is, but none of them have that. He has the to-do list of managing the people's wooden nose and the wooden leg. Horn's leg. These are clues. Horn's leg. Who is Horn? Let's go find out. Horn. Who are you? Horn. You are... helmsman. We know who that is. This is Horn. You are the helmsman. Get out of here, guy. Okay. And we also know that this guy's the one with... This is the bosun because he also has the wooden nose. Because that's the carpenter. He specifically... The surgeon doesn't exist. She's passed away. This is the carpenter because he repairs her hull and other woodworking. And so he's specifically looking out for those two. Because they're also the only ones with wooden prosthetics, whereas the other guy has the metal hook and therefore not a priority for the carpenter. Okay, so then we know that the guy Parker, Master at Arms, this guy, because he has a list of who has bad swords or cutlasses. I was pretty sure she was the cell maker because she's the only female we have on the list that's still alive. But I could be wrong. I don't know Moody, but Maria is the only obvious female name on here. Again, of someone who is alive. Yeah. Okay, so okay. There's other information on. We have to go back to 1797. We must depart. We have to look at this guy's stuff. Swift still using cutlass made of cheap, low-grade metal. Replaced soon. Lane, Nunda, and Valerio's cutlass blunt. Sharpened soon. Also, his response to having his neck twisted backwards is ack. Which, you know, a valid sound, because he also fell from up there. Maybe. I think that's what... No, it didn't have a question mark beside it like it sometimes does. So we know who he is. Great. Helmsman, get up here. We know who they are. We know who these are, from what I can tell. Okay. I don't have anything else that would suggest that someone is, you know, the one steering the ship. Or not steering the ship, that's the helmsman. Navigator. Carpenter. She has a dagger and a pistol. He has the pocket watch. They called him a rat. Oops. I was hoping that you're no captain, so it just seems like they, once again, he's trying to overtake the vote. And he knows that the captain's been called, the captain, I say that with air quotes, is calling him. These two guys are against him. We don't know where he stood because he's dead at the beginning of this. We know that Garner. Yeah, same last name's Garner. In fact, he's from the first story of this DLC. Is he the cannon guy? Could be the gunner. Could be the gunner. Maybe he's the gunner. So this guy... Who is he yelling to? It's one of these two guys. Which means one is the first mate here. Wait, how do you... Wait. Bandana has a blunt cutlass? I mean, maybe? Let's see what other people's cutlasses look like. Oh, it is blunt, isn't it? Okay. Lane, Nunda, and Valerio. Okay, is yours? You don't even have a cutlass, bruh. His is sharp. His is sharp. Sharp. He doesn't have one. His is dull. So Valerio, Nunda, and Lane. What about this guy out here? His is dull. Okay. Okay. Lane, Nunda, and Valerio. So this guy... He doesn't have one. Okay. He has a blunt one. He has a blunt one. He has a blunt one. Okay. Let's go put that together with what we have on the list over here. Lane is navigator, plots courses. Valerio is the gunner. And Nunda oversees the crew's work, second mate. So maybe this is the gunner. We got the gunner. We have the second mate, Nunda. And the navigator. Okay. Plots courses. I think this is correct on him. I don't know if he's the navigator. Is he the second mate? No. That would be crazy. What if that's actually the second mate trying to run away for whatever reason? Or the first mate, I'm sorry. Oh well. Wait. Now I forgot what he had. He had a sharp one. Okay. He's not second mate. Maybe they're just angry about who won. Maybe that's the real question. In fact, maybe we can see, based on how many people are for and against him. So for this guy, we got, not including him, we have to have 5 people that voted for him. So, not these 2. In fact, let's do this on here. We know that the cook... Oh, wait. We know that the carpenter and the cellmaker voted for first mate. We know for the second mate, we know that we don't know where the Masters of Arms fell, or the cook. We know that... Here, he had no vote, so he gets to sit down here. So if it's these 2, okay, so all these people voted for this guy. That would be that. So that means these other people voted for the second mate. The helmsman... Yes. No? See, that's the problem, is that I'm trying to decipher who's yelling at who. So this guy is over here going, then prepare to lose your life just as you and your followers lost the vote. So the helmsman... voted for... Okay, let's do this a little bit more systematically. Helmsman did vote for the first mate. First mate is the one who won. Helmsman is against the carpenter. Well, the carpenter and the cellmaker are against the first mate. Cellmaker and carpenter against the first mate. They're actively trying to kill him, and probably do. Nunda and Alistair. Alistair, Sims, and Nunda. Those are the first mate and second mate. Alistair's in charge of daily operations, which is why he has the clock, the pocket watch, is what I've determined. It's not like it's a compass, so it's not the navigator. Right. So I'm back to the original that he is first mate. These 5 people right here and this guy are fine. And this guy. Navigator. I mean, he's hanging off the rigging, so I don't know. Okay, so we have the bosun, and we really don't know where he came in. I think they may have voted for the first mate, but I don't know why they're running away, other than he needs to get his son somewhere. And why that one guy, these two are together. We're going to put those together. The cook, we don't know where he fell in all this. He just prepares food. Well, the helmsman isn't in the boat. He isn't at the boat. So, okay. Let's go back to the scene itself. These two against him easily. And then we have we're wanted in the captain's quarters. He's like, you're not gonna go through here. This guy, really don't know where he came in on this. This is the cook. He's crying to his mom. I ain't cut out for this. I chop meat, not men. I don't want to die down here all alone. Please, Ma, watch over me. And this guy's like, you may outnumber us, but we're twice the sailors you'll ever be. Surrender now, and I might let you keep breathing. So this is the guy that's against the original vote winner. So this is second mate guy. Whatever his role is, he's second mate. He voted for second mate. Which means the cook voted for first mate. 1, 2, 3. What if the master at arms did this? I'm just going to drag him over here. And what if this and this? What if this is the setup? But I don't think this guy is against first mate. The navigator is against the first mate being captain, because he's the one preventing the helmsman from coming in. But also, who is he yelling to is like, quick to the captain's quarters? Yes. He had a dull cutlass. We know that Nunda, Valerio, and Lane who was the first person? Swift used a low-grade metal. For his cutlass or for something else? Yeah, low-grade metal. I don't know how we tell if it's low-grade metal. Yeah. And then who is Swift overall? If we can find out who that, like, if we can identify who Swift is specifically. Okay, she would have. Okay, she would have a cutlass, but I didn't see a cutlass on her. Oh, she does. This is low grade metal, though. This looks higher grade, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, the cell maker. It's sharp, but it also looks like it's real beat up, too, compared to other people's sharp cutlasses. But, you know, that may not be either here or there. But that... Yeah. Okay. And then we have... maybe he was kind of talking like he was going to be able to call shots. And maybe that's who this guy's yelling at, is this guy down here. This guy. Maybe this is actually Nunda. He has a lot of different blades. The kukri is surprising. He's like, you may outnumber us, but we're twice the sailors you'll ever be. So he's saying surrender now, like he has the power over this. So maybe that is Nunda making him the second mate. Yeah, I might let you live. Yes. I think he is Nunda too. Alright, so then... This guy... So these two... So he's yelling down to him. That makes sense. You and your followers. Okay. We're slowly figuring this out. This guy is, again, quick to the captain's quarters. A flintlock pistol. Okay. And a dagger. He also has a ring on. I don't think I've seen anyone else having a ring, but maybe I haven't seen their hands either. I know quick now, we're wanted in the captain's quarters. If he wanted a quick kill, he'd take out his gun. Or maybe he's yelling to him, and this guy's the one stopping them from going in. What do you mean the resources? We have a mutiny on our hands. Yeah, maybe they don't. But also, I just thought that they were the ones who were actually okay with each other. Like this guy, these two are on the same side. Yeah, the new captain who's in there, he's calling from in, so that's where he's like quick to the captain's quarters. And these two are on the same side. He's yelling down into here. This guy's like, I'm not going to let you past. I'm putting the rigger over here. Which means that puts the master at arms on this side. Now, that also means I don't know who the navigator still is. I'm making assumptions based on this guy being a gunner and this one being the navigator. That is not correct. I love this game so much sometimes. Okay, so maybe he's not the rigger. We know this is the helmsman. I think these are all three of the people with dull weapons. Except for, or two of the people with dull weapons and this guy. Like, I'm still sold that he's the rigger. But what if he's not? Because he has a gun. But he's hanging off of this. Yeah, Valerio. He doesn't even have a gun. That's even more. But again, gun doesn't mean pistol. That just means he runs the cannons. Okay. Let's go see what Lane and Valerio do. That'll help us determine. That just means we'll swap what they have if once we figure out what they do. So Lane is the navigator and Valerio is the gunner. Dull. Okay, so if Valerio's not the gunner, then that means he's the navigator. Which swaps them out. Navigator, gunner. We're getting somewhere. Who's wrong? What are What if it does matter? He's the gunner. He's the rigger. No, that is decidedly incorrect. Ooh, who do we have wrong? The navigator. Like, let's just see what happens. Okay. He's definitely the cook. He talked about all he wanted to do was cook. He's not cut out for this. What if I have the second mate and the first mate all wrong? No. That's correct. Okay. Carpenter. Who's not correct? Okay, let's look at it again by who is once again. I just don't know what's wrong still. Okay, let me swap two that I know are correct. Okay. Master at Arms, he's worried about everyone's weapons. Got that. We know he's the helmsman. I assume he came out brushing his teeth. Though it looks like his teeth have never seen a toothbrush in his life. He's hanging off. But no, that's incorrect. Is Gunner correct on this? Maybe the powder monkey's not who I think it is. No, that's the powder monkey because that's his son. There's no question about these two. We've seen him before. We know this guy's solid. Okay. The cell maker didn't change when I put it over on this guy. Cell maker over rigger. That's correct. So then it's the gunner and who? Yeah. Okay. So we have first mate, the one voted in as captain. We have second mate, this guy who's saying, I might let you live. I feel like he probably speaks a lot like Jason Statham. We have a navigator, plots course. This is Lane. He's also the one of the ones with the dull cutlasses. I can definitely try. Okay. Nunda is right here. He lost. We have helmsman, which we've already figured out. Second mate, navigator. No. Nunda is... Is that what it said, that he was navigator? No, Nunda is the second mate. Peter Lane is the navigator. Two of these are switched, and it's going to drive me crazy. I already feel it. It's not this one either. What if this guy really is... No, okay, they're just marinating on that still. What if I actually have these? No, okay. Once again, I think I already tested that. Okay. Carpenter's fine. Cellmaker. Carpenter, Cellmaker, and Cook. Yes, those are known. The cook's name is... Maurice Selwyn. Prepares food. Moody Pollock is a rigger. Works ropes and sails. Maria maintains and repairs. Horatio, the carpenter, repairs hull and other woodworking. I feel like a dude as big as this guy seems like he would be able to push around the cannons a little bit better than this guy. Like, I want to put him under the gunner. And let's get this guy as the navigator. It hates me. Okay, that's still the best option still. I'm trying to see if there's anywhere this guy who works on only the wooden nose and the wood leg is somewhere involved, but I don't see anywhere where that would be useful. Unless he's responsible for weapons, but that's the guy that's, worried about their swords. So I can't see where that could be any different. We've already seen him and we know him and we know his son is the one that's in a coma right now. He's also the powder monkey. He had no vote. The cook. He's fine. He has the cleaver. The one hanging off the rigging is... I can't imagine him being anywhere else. Why was the Master at Arms falling from so high? That's the part that kind of has me a little bit confused. Like, swapping those would make sense if that were the case, but he's not the rigger. He's obviously not really cut out to be that high in climbing. But why was he so high? That's really my question. Are we missing something? I want to move. Oh, I can't move this over. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out the votes then. The helmsman. If this is true, then it's the gunner. The navigator's on that side. But also so with the rigger, but maybe the cook didn't vote how we think. Which, that kind of makes sense. Master at Arms, the cook. Oh no, the cook voted against him. Because that's why he's like, I might let you live. So the cook did not vote for him. But the first mate does have this guy, and this guy. That's 3. We have the helmsman, the rigger, the cook. These 2 voted together, which means could have gone over here, which makes sense, which puts the gunner against them, which makes sense too. I think we have our lineup. That's assuming this is actually the navigator. But he has a gun. Why is this not correct? What is missing here? Okay. Putting rigor on him does not change this. So it's something with his... with him? How... okay, we know that's not a rigor. So is it with these two that the issue is? I don't know where to... Oh, okay. We need to find another example for this not changing. Okay. Let's try Gunner on somewhere. Okay, didn't think so. Okay, let's... Works ropes and cells. Maintains and repairs the cells. Repairs hull and other woodworking. Like I said, I think these two probably work together really well all the time, which is why they can easily be on the same side. Helmsman, steers ship, makes sense. Rafael, Valerio. Okay, we know he's the helmsman, steers the ship. Peter Lane, one of the Dole, and you have the other Dole, but we know who you are. Oops. What do I want? Do I want Navigator? Let's try it. I don't know what this means at this point. Because now it's back to this. Put Gunner on both. Those are both incorrect. Okay. Or at least one more is incorrect. Navigator. There's got to be something else. So the Navigator and Peter Lane and he's the gunner. Valerio is the gunner. Okay. Navigator and gunner and Nunda. These two are on the same side. Are you second mate and you're actually gunner? Yes. Got it. Cool. Love that for us. Okay. Let us continue. We got it figured out. Woo! This brings me joy. Alright, let's figure out their skeletons. Who killed who and how. And here we have wait, whose mouth looked like that? What? Everyone's mouth looks really weird. Like they have too many sharp teeth. But this is particularly weird. Because this person also has a pistol. Oh, thank you. Thank you, I tried. So we know that this is the Navigator. So we'll throw that in here. Okay, and we know that this is the Gunner. Cool. This is most peculiar. Like, look at that. Look at those tusks. So, who has a weird mouth? Who is someone who had a pistol? Is her mouth... Oh, wait, hold up. Let's zoom out and let's switch back. Does her mouth suggest that she has tusk? Yes, it does. So that's her. That's Maria the Cellmaker, who was killed by an axe. Let's swap back. An axe. This might be the helmsman there. In fact, I'm pretty sure that is. That's this guy. Okay. Helmsman. She was killed by the helmsman with the axe. We'll get the weapons in a second. Oh, I guess I could get it now. Axe, I think. And then... yeah, because he came running in after taking out the guy out there with the axe. And this is where the axe ended up. He also had weird teeth. This guy was taken out with a small dagger. Anyways, hold up. Let's not lose track. This is the helmsman, and he was taken out by a cheap sword. So she took him out. Cellmaker took him out because she had the low quality, and that's a broken off blade right there. Words is cutlass. Okay. This guy has a ring. That's not the helmsman. That is... this guy, the rigger. Like I said, he had a ring. I hadn't seen anyone else with a ring, and that seems such a obvious thing. Kind of like the dude down in the hold with the gold tooth, and the cook with the necklace. Okay. I want to figure out who this guy is. This guy, he had an earring. Oh, so he was kind of elfy. Now that I look at him, look at it. These weren't humans. None of these were full human from what I can tell. Elfish, orcish, I don't know. He was taken out. That is a dagger, but I don't know if it's the dagger. I wonder if all the daggers are all the same. That's what I'm really looking at. Yeah, they all seem to be the same. Cool. Yeah, I didn't even notice until I looked at her skull, and then finally I looked at her. I was like, oh, she has way too many teeth coming from the side of her cheeks. And that's what I was like, oh, that's fully like tusks. And then I just looking at him, I was like, oh, his ears are kind of pointy. And I kind of thought that before, but I didn't think much of it. Like, he could be a sea monster for all we know. He has fangs for days. That's also strange in its own right. But there are people that just have that. But then I looked at this guy and I was like, what is up with your teeth? They all look sharp for some reason, but he also like looks the most human, or dwarfish maybe. This guy, hard to tell with your head facing backwards. He looks intense. I don't know why he's so intense, but we know this guy made it in. This guy, okay, let's swap. This guy's dead here. He didn't make it past Axe guy. This is the one that already had his neck twisted. Who are you? Oh, that's the cook. He had a bigger skeleton. This is the... So the peg leg guy went in there, did some business, came out here and died. As if he was coming out to drive the ship, because he is a helmsman. truly might explain the foaming at the mouth. Oh yeah, and this is the guy with the beak, apparently, because that's what his actual skull looks like, and not just his nose being unique. No, it was a bone structure. Look at that. Look at that dude. Okay. Let's at least label who they are, because we know that this is the cook. We know that this is the master at arms. And we know this is the second mate, aka the one who won or lost. A sore loser, even. Helmsman is up there. And then who is this guy? I guess that's the carpenter, because that's his earring right there. Okay, so then who doesn't have... let's go back in here. Who doesn't have their dagger anymore? Because he had a dagger. I guess we don't get to look at the bodies at this point. He had a dagger, she had a dagger. But he's directly opposed to them. So then I would suspect it was our rigger's dagger. And he was killed by the dagger. Dagger. All right, we're getting there. I'm gonna try and move this over. We might have some overlap, but that's okay. Okay. How does this look? Okay, I can move it this far over and it won't cover up anything. Great. Okay. So then, no. We got the first row done. Now we have second mate, who was definitely taken out by the helmsman with the axe. With the axe. Okay, and then we have this guy who fell. But that's not what killed him. Was he was shot? I think he was shot with a pistol, because that's where, like on the way down by the rigger, because there was a bullet in the flyer about the vote. So, and he's the only one who had a gun out there. I can only assume that's the situation. And this guy, so it feels pretty obvious what happened here, but I could be wrong about that. How did he die? Oh, he got his arm caught in the grating, and then he just didn't leave. And we can see that by the fact that his skeleton is down here, his arm skeleton. Bones, even. His arm bones are down here. But why was his arm caught? Did the ladder fall? Is that the issue? But also he could have been taken out by this guy. So we can only assume that the gunner took him out with a kukri. And he tried to escape. And the ladder fell. Or I don't know how he's up top, but his arm is down below. I don't fully get that. And then this is this guy, he got a dagger to the chest. So who killed him? Maybe the cellmaker also threw her dagger at him as he hit her in the head. I would stake my claim on that. Oh my gosh, look at that. First try and everything. It's like I'm a genius. Feel good about this. Okay, let's see what these stories are. In 1797, the last reapers... Okay, let's pull up the words. I don't know about smart, but I'm glad I paid attention to the little things, because that helps. Okay. The last reapers... First mate was elected to the ship's new captain, voted in by... Oh, my list has come in handy. Look at this. By the... Let me make sure that's correct. Okay, the rigger, the helmsman, the cook, the navigator, and the bosun. Nope, not the whole page. The second mate lost with votes from the carpenter, sailmaker, gunner, and master-at-arms. That night, the second mate and his supporters attacked the first mate's faction, resulting in numerous deaths on both sides. While the fight raged, the bosun and the powder monkey escaped with the map. Is that what we're looking for? Yes, it is. Nailed it. In 1927, okay. This one is the one that we haven't spent much time on because we've been trying to identify what happened, like the Oberdin. Okay, in 1927, Ivan Kearns went below deck having toppled, fell, hold up, having spotted a gem through a grating, but someone... Right, there's two different stories, but we didn't spend hardly any time in this other than these people are like, hey, what's up? You all right down there? But he's not there. There was a splash, but a net fell. No, something toppled a... Okay, so let's investigate what's going on down here, because a ladder. But someone toppled a ladder, which fell, which there was a splash. But there's also blood, and there's also this fresh thing. Okay. But someone pulled the ladder, which blank, a blank. So Ivan Do we think it was cut? Do we think the ladder was cut? Someone pulled, but someone pulled a net which toppled the ladder. Pulled a net which toppled a ladder. So Ivan Kearns hit and fell. Heard a splash before falling into the sea. Before being pulled. Pulled seems good, into the sea. So Ivan and heard a splash. Fell. And heard a splash. A splash up here? Yes. No. But someone... Yeah. Let's keep it with pulled a net which toppled the ladder. So Ivan Kearns fell and hit a cannonball. Is that where he landed? Yeah, he hit a cannonball. Before, because there's blood on this. I'm sorry, I sort of just glossed right on through that. He hit the cannonball, lost his pipe, and then was dragged into the sea. Maybe toppled, which pulled a net and toppled the ladder, or pulled the ladder and toppled the net. That's not how that works. Ivan Kearns fell. And hit a cannonball before being toppled into the sea. Pulled into the sea. Okay. In fact, let's do one better. Let's see how this is actually supposed to be set up. Zoom out. If we look in here, so there's just no net in here. So that's very bait-like of them. Yeah, I don't see any net in here. Like, that's not a natural part of this. Okay. Okay, so then this is a natural part of this. Maybe his arm fell off in the time that he decomposed, and that's why it fell through the grating. Yeah, something pulled a net, which is under the leg in the first place, which toppled the ladder, having spotted a gem, a shiny gem, a net. It's almost like a spider web. Someone felt them on the ladder, yanked it, and they're like, ah, my prey. Ivan toppled. No. He fell. And before being pulled, being shot. I thought maybe it was fell a ladder, but that's not the best word for that. Like how you fell a tree. Um, he did hit a cannonball. He was bleeding as he was pulled into the ocean. Having heard a splash, I can't imagine that that's what really drew him down. Yeah, no. He spotted a gem. Let's make sure it was Ivan. What's going on down there, Ivan? This is Antoine or Radigan. I don't think it was Radigan. I think Radigan is the guy at the phone. And the other one, yeah, that's Antoine. This is... He heard something down there. Okay. He went below deck, but someone pulled a net. Oh, it could have been a Radigan, I guess. I guess that's Ivan, and Radigan is the only one we haven't accounted for. Because we saw the other people. Okay, cool. Good idea on replacing both names. Several hours after losing the vote, William Nunda's supporters launched a coordinated attack on Alistair Sims' faction. On the deck, Nunda and the Master-at-Arms ambushed the helmsman, thinking they had him outnumbered. However, they didn't realize the rigger was above them, making it a fair fight, which they lost. Oh, okay. How did he fall so... I still don't know how the guy's head is facing the wrong way. Anyways, eventually everyone killed one another, apart from the bosun and his son, who escaped with the map. More than a century later, the expedition team found the shipwreck. Radigan Olita was lured into a trap and dragged into the sea. Yeah. That's unfortunate for him. And right on time for stream to end, too? That's crazy. My dearest Walter Keane. Ah. Fun. This is not this is not a new name. This is a name from the first game. Now, this is from The Case of the Golden Idol. It is with deepest gratitude that I put pen to paper, for it was by your noble hand that I was delivered from certain doom during the reign of the Order Party. The time has come to repay my debt in kind, as it is the custom of Lemuria, a life for a life. I understand that unfortunate events have rendered you a shadow of the man you once were, bowed and wearied by the weight of cruel fate. Yet take heart, for there exists a remedy. On the 27th day of February, a Lemurian sentinel vessel shall depart from the azure heaven and make its course to the volcanic isle of Craven Rock. Aboard shall be borne a number of sacred relics, destined for the annual ritual of restraint. Among these artifacts is one of singular power, known as the Wish Bloom. Wish Bloom. You shall know it by its unmistakable fragrance, both strong and sweet. Should you come into possession of this gift, you will become a new man. Upon my solemn oath, as a son of Lemuria, I affirm. I can't read anymore. I affirm that all I have written is true. With unwavering Unwavering Loyalty, Ergen Ptu, which we've also seen. I'm trying to recall if that was in the. I think that was in the DLC of the first game too. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. They're not going to wrap this up this game. There's going to be another one. There has to be. Otherwise, I'm cranky about it. Ooh, this is exciting. We have so much stuff going on. And now we have whatever this is. Whatever homely person that is. Anyways, thank y'all so much for coming to stream. I'm so excited to be playing this again. And I love this story. It's fascinating and it's just keeping me on the edge of my seat. Thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. I will be back next week with something else. It truly makes me feel so dumb and this smart. I'm glad you could be here, Tiny Pants, and my voice is here. It always is. Anyways, love y'all. Thank you for the teal poops. And I promise I'll have some alerts so that, and I'm really trying to come up with ideas for things to give, my subscribers. Otherwise, why subscribe? So maybe I'll do like a subscriber only stream where we chat and maybe I have my camera on or something. Who knows? Anyways, thank y'all and have a good night. See y'all next week. Or earlier if I decide to stream. We'll see. Bye. Cool. Love that.